I want to welcome every one of you to our very first podcast of your Bible Toolbox. This is a podcast that has to do with understanding the resources of free Bible. I want to welcome every one of you to .org. And I want to remind everyone that today, as we engage into this conversation, I want to let you know that specifically I have a co-host, and for many, many years, I used to be my wife's favorite pastor, but it seems to that now there is a brand new guy in the conversation, and I'm speaking of my very own son, and this is Josue Muñiz, my son. Josue, what is happening today?
Yeah, good evening. It's great to be with y'all today. Really, we're just going to dive into some free resources that Bible Lessons International would love to provide to y'all. And we hope that this can be of value to you. So please stick around for the whole conversation today.
Now, today we're specifically speaking on what we have titled Easter in the Scriptures. But specifically, be more kind of a laser pointed in this is the written study tools for the Christ Center Holy Week. So as you tune in today, as pastors, we obviously are in a season where the beauty of this season of Lent, season of Easter, is that we don't have to wonder what to preach. And yet, at the same time, sometimes it feels that our sermons eventually sound repetitive because of the season. So what we want to do for the next few minutes, and this is why Josue and I want to spend some time with you, is precisely to speak about the resources within the subject of Easter for the local church. So whether you're a pastor, whether you're a Sunday school teacher, whether you're just a committed individual to study the scriptures, Dr. Bob Utley, which is the founder, the president of Free Bible Commentary, Bible Lessons International, through decades of study, he's put together a lot of these resources through the website Free Bible Commentary. But specifically, we're gonna enter the conversation of the website through a very specific tool that we've been promoting now for maybe 2 years. Am I correct, Jose? It's about 2 years now that we've been
Correct.
promoting the BLI, or Bible Lessons International app. So, Josue, talk to us. What are some of the options that we have when it comes to these resources?
Okay, well, if you are joining us live in the live stream, and I have it right here so I can see y'all as y'all join. Please leave a comment in the chat where you are watching from, and if you do or if you don't have the BLI app downloaded yet, because as my dad just said, that's what we're going to be diving into. So please, I'm going to give y'all a second while I get my resources as well to pull up your Bible Lessons International app. And if you don't have it downloaded yet, but would like to follow along with what we're going to be talking about, it's available on both the Apple Play Store, the Apple App Store, sorry, and as well as the Google Play Store for Google phones or Android phones as well. So please take time to download that. And if you have it, that is so great. We're glad to hear that. So what I'm going to be doing is actually showing you the live feed from my phone of what the app looks like and the resource more specifically that we're going to be diving into today. Okay. Okay. I hope y'all can see the app. Can you confirm if you can see it on your end?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, great. So this is what the BLI app should look like when you first open it. Of course, after you've created your profile and selected a campus, but that's for another video. So please come back next week when we dive into more of the resources. So what we're going to be seeing here is if you look on your app, and I'm going to be looking down because, well, I don't know if y'all can see me, but I'm going to be looking down because I'm actually showing you the live feed from my phone where I have the app downloaded. The first thing you see when you open the app is the home page. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll briefly through it. This is what it should look like. And again, I'm on the English campus right now, which is what we're going to be focusing on for this podcast. Okay, so really briefly, that's what the homepage should be looking like. And really, the homepage is just the accumulation of all the resources we have and just giving you a snapshot of each one. But more specifically, I want us to look. If you see at the bottom, there are 5 tabs. The first one being home on the left, the second being live, the third being give, the fourth being resources, and the fifth being more with 3 dots. I want us to focus on the tab that says resources, okay? So go ahead and click there, and I'm going to do it with y'all as well. Okay, so when you click on resources, the next thing you should see is what pops up on the screen that I am showing y'all. And what we see here is the first one being Easter resources or Resurrection Sunday resources, followed by Old Testament studies, New Testament studies, biblical interpretation seminar, Bible dictionary or special topics, difficult and controversial text, discipleship materials, and then more media or resources, videos that you can watch. But more specifically, I want us, and of course, because we're going into the Easter season, we want to provide y'all pastors, leaders, whatever position you're in the church, we want to provide y'all with these resources that y'all can use for Resurrection Sunday and for this upcoming Easter season. So please, please, please click on that first tab you see with the little cross emoji in purple that is called Easter in the Scriptures. So go ahead and click that. I'm going to click it with y'all as well. Okay, so once you click it, you're going to see this big thumbnail that says Easter in the Scriptures, written study tools, and under it are the individual free resources that we're going to dive into one by one. And please stick around to the end because you're not going to want to miss them. So let's see here. We have Easter in the Scriptures, written study tools for a Christ-centered Holy Week. Okay, now before we dive into them, I want to give the disclaimer that all of these are found on the freebiblecommentary.org website. Okay, but all we're doing is just making them more accessible if you just want to go through the app or you already have the app downloaded. Okay, let's start with the first one, special topic, the resurrection. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it, and you can click on it as well, and we're both going to be seeing the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to give my dad a chance to talk here and explain, but before he does, I just want to quickly let's just scroll through it. I'm really slowly seeing the different insights, again, from Dr. Bob Utley. So yeah, so this is the full special topic, and we end it right here. So let's go back to the top. This is, again, what it looks like once you click it as well. But I'm going to go ahead and let him share a little bit of what this special topic means and really the value it provides.
So I want to remind everyone, when we use the language of special topics, this is precisely within the website. And I mean, probably don't have to tell you this or remind you, but apps on our devices are an extension of the website. So everything is coming from the website, the freebiblecommentary.org. But specifically, when it comes to special topics, this is the section where Dr. Bob, the whole point of the tools and the resources is precisely the writing of the entire Bible in exegetical commentaries, biblical commentaries. So Dr. Bob literally wrote commentaries in every book of the Bible. But within those commentaries, eventually passages like 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and many other passages that allude to the resurrection of Jesus, once you go through the commentary and you get to that topic or that verse within the topic within the verse, that's where you see inserted those quote unquote special topics. What you see on the screen is precisely the special topic called the resurrection. So this is taken straight from that special topic that if you write us, and I'm fixing to put, because I've been putting things on the chat for us today, I'm going to put the link for you to request this special topic, and we want to send it to you completely free, meaning the PDF file. But again, this is the explanation, Dr. Bob's explanation, in-depth, exposition of the subject of the resurrection. So, Josue, again, we're able to access this special topic via the app, correct? That's what we're talking about.
Correct.
All right. What else do we find within the special topic?
All right. Well, what we see here, again, are links. So what you can actually do if you're scrolling through here and you see a link, again, within the link, essentially, these kind of blue underlined colored phrases, those are links into more special topics. If you're trying to just really learn more or trying to learn more about a specific concept that Dr. Bob is talking about, you can go ahead and click these links that are within this special topic. Okay. But again, I'm just scrolling through it again just to show y'all really what it looks like. So again, you're able to see this without having to go through the whole website to get there or having to access the website. We're making it kind of just accessible through the app. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click done on the top left corner in order to return back to the app and check out the next resource. Okay. Okay, so I click done and I'm brought back to the app. So again, the really cool thing about this is that you stay within the app, even if you're browsing through these resources. The same with any resource we have in the app, whether it's a video, commentary, a quote, whatever it is, you stay within the app the whole time. So you never really have to worry about leaving the app or clicking a link and it sending you to somewhere else. You will always stay within the BLI app. So I think that's really, really nice. The second tab we're going to be seeing is the special topic, the dead, where are they? Sheol, Hades, Gehenna, and Tartarus. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click it. Okay, and here we are. And again, I'm going to give my dad a second just to talk about this and just give a brief summary of what we're seeing here.
The remaining of these special topics are found within the special topic of the resurrection. So what Dr. Bob has done, he's developed, again, an in-depth presentation of the resurrection. He's coming from, whether it's 1 Corinthians 15, which is one of the most common biblical references to the resurrection. And what he's doing, he's doing a couple of things. One of the things that he does, and I think you will appreciate this because this is part of the methodology or strategy on biblical interpretation, is that he's going to give us plenty of parallel passages, plenty of biblical resources, biblical references to corroborate what we're talking about. So this special topic that is speaking or answering the question, where are the dead? It has to do precisely with the development within the resurrection. When you die, where does the person go to? And man, this is a phenomenal special topic that will help you to go a little bit deeper into the conversation within the resurrection. One more side note, and then I'll go back to you, Josue. One of the things that we have always said, Dr. Bob has always said, and we repeat through our teachings on a weekly basis and preaching, is that as much as we do is speak absolutes, and we do believe on absolutes when it comes to doctrine, when it comes to the truth of the scriptures, simultaneously, the purpose is not necessarily agreement, but the purpose is to stimulate our minds and to know not only what we believe, but why we believe what we believe. So we're moving into topics that potentially are controversial, such as where are the dead, such as resurrection. I think we're in the very same scenario as Paul found the church back 2,000 years ago on the skepticism and doubting the resurrection. And I think this is why we have a huge opportunity within the next 2 weeks to continue to preach about these biblical principles. Okay, so that's one of them. Let's move along to the next one on the list, unless you have something else you want to add to this, Josue.
Great. No, yeah, let's go ahead and keep moving. So again, I'm going to click the done button on the top left to go back to the app.
Hey, by the way, and we want to kind of make this quote unquote apology. If you notice, the sharing on the screen is Josue is sharing his phone. This is from the actual app. That's the point. Otherwise, if we were sharing this from the website, it will be a complete screen. So we're just trying to, again, invite you to utilize the app and get the access to these resources.
Yes, thank you. Okay, the third special topic is Jesus's post-resurrection appearances. So we're going to click on it and check it out real quick.
Wow, this is extremely important because now what Dr. Bob is doing here, as you guys see, again, he's just bringing together all these biblical references on where is it that Jesus, within the scriptures, is quoted on his physical appearances after the resurrection. And as you know, this is huge within the understanding of, now, by the way, just as a pastor, this is where I've been under Dr. Bob's mentorship, discipleship, and just guidance as a pastor, and having him he was my Old Testament professor back in the early 90s at East Texas Baptist. But here's my point. When you look at this special topic, this is just a suggestion. I'm just thinking as a pastor. I'm thinking as a Bible teacher. I'm thinking as someone who Sunday is coming and I got to preach. This special topic can potentially become a sermon series. Because if you look at every one of those biblical references where Jesus showed up himself physically, man, I can definitely use this as a potential sermon series. Just a thought. I'm not saying you got to do it, but this is just a reference if you wanted to utilize the topic of post-resurrection appearances. Josue, I know you're studying also, you're in seminary. I mean, you take these resources extremely helpful as well. But I'm just thinking for those who are studying the Bible, you know, the usage, the advantage to have this type of resources accessible to them. Have you used them yourself in your studies, whether it's personal or academically, any of these resources?
I have, yes, most definitely. As maybe many of our close friends know that are part of BLI, I am now in my second year of seminary, and yeah, I mean, I really thought I knew the Bible before seminary, but man, seminary has just been an eye opener, and Dr. Bob's resources have helped kind of just level the field of just this wisdom and knowledge that Dr. Bob brings. And I can't tell you how many sermons already I've had to preach in seminary that I've been able to get this assistance and guidance, really direction from Dr. Bob's commentaries. So yes, most definitely.
And again, this is available in the app. So please go to your app store and simply search for Bible Lessons International. I posted on the chat the link for you to access this directly. All right, let's move to the next one. What's the next special topic within the subject of the resurrection?
Great. So the next special topic is Gnosticism, from Greek word gnosis, which means knowledge. Okay, from 1 Timothy 6:20. So let's go ahead and click on it and check it out.
And again, this is related to the big picture of the subject of the resurrection, because every one of these subtopics are coming from, if you were to get that resurrection PDF file, which I love to send it to you, and I'm going to put the link in just a second on the chat. Gnosticism definitely is that understanding. And again, we're not going to get into the Bible study right now, but Gnosticism, which is a very common doctrine or philosophy infiltrated in the life of the church, is the mindset of separating the physical from the spiritual. And this is extremely relevant in the concept of the resurrection. And again, you're going to get a little bit of an in-depth when it comes to that topic within this special topic. All right, let's go to the next one, Jose, so we can move alongside over every one of these topics that we're trying to share with everyone today. What's the next one?
Great. Before we actually dive into the next one, I want to remind y'all that we actually are seeing the live chat. So as y'all are joining, as y'all are watching, we can see if y'all interact. So please go ahead and type your name or type where you're from the chat. We want to interact with y'all. We can see everything that's going on y'all's end as well from the chat. So please, we want to interact with y'all. So please feel free to do that whenever y'all feel the need to do so. But the next special topic is truth/true. So let's go ahead and click on it.
All right. So again, man, this is just an overflow, an end result of the topic of the resurrection, which in this case now he's moving us. Dr. Bob is moving us now within the subject of truth. And in this case, if you notice, he's describing from truth in a sense of Paul's writings, how he describes. Let me see the top of the special topic. Go to the top for me, please. As he introduces the topic, if you notice, whether it's truth or true, skepticism, if you think about it, before, when you look at the life of the church and the life of this generation, resuscitations, you know, some of the people have experienced those transitions from someone who comes back from the dead. But for the first time in human history, this is not a resuscitation. This is someone who actually died, and as he comes back from the dead, the difference is that he is coming with a glorified body. And this is where truth is going to come into the picture. And Dr. Bob is going to give us an in-depth presentation over this crucial topic or subject within the concept of the resurrection. How many more do we have to go tonight on the special topic?
Check. So we have 2 more special topics to go.
Wonderful. Let's go over the next one then, because this next one, and by the way, before you do that, let me just put on the chat that if they want to request a copy of today's special topic on the resurrection, I would love to send it to you via email. So all you got to do is request it on the link that I just posted in there. So please request it for us. All right. So talk to me. What's the next one again?
Great. So the next one is the kerygma.
The
let's go ahead and
kerygma. All right. So one of the things that we typically say when it comes to the resurrection of Jesus, and not just the resurrection, but basically the ministry of Jesus, the person of Jesus, the work of Jesus. And again, I don't know if you can agree with me on what I'm about to say, but my belief, this is just my understanding of the scriptures, is that if the apostles, if the followers of Jesus were to keep quiet the message, the character, the person of Jesus, if they were to keep it quiet 2,000 years ago, we will never knew about Jesus. And I'm just bringing this up because this is between the special revelation, which is the scripture. But remember, the scriptures, the Bible, is the documentation of what the apostles said. Obviously, Jesus, first and foremost. But then when you see the epistles, it's kind of at the expansion, the application, the understanding of the words of Christ. What's the point? The point is that the kerygma is primarily, is what we're describing, is the preaching and the teachings of the apostles. And guess what? This kerygma, which is documented in the book of Acts, is precisely the apostles talking about the resurrection of Jesus. That's all that I'm trying to say. So again, this can potentially, very easily, become a sermon series. What are those sermons of the apostles that documented by the book of Acts that describe specifically within the resurrection? So whether it's for this year, maybe it's a little late for this year, or maybe next year, when it comes to preparing a lesson, preparing a Sunday school class, a small group material, or even a sermon series, I'm just inviting you, consider the kerygma as part of the exposition of the topic of the resurrection. Josue, all of this is accessible in the app. Now, before we go today, we have one more to go. I'm also going to show you, or I'm going to invite you, and I'm not going to show you because of time, but I'm going to invite you to also visit the website, which is Free Bible Commentary. You can also find it there. All right, let's go to the next one, to the last one. What's the last one?
Okay, and our last special topic for tonight is Jesus's post-resurrection appearances.
Once again, this is kind of connected to the other one. Go ahead.
Yes.
This is connected to the last one. And the reason we're repeating it, this is the only reason why, is because of repetition of the previous one, or the second one that we had on the list, is because the special topic of the resurrection, which is where everything came from, guess what? Is repeating it. That's the only reason. So we just want to follow the outline that Dr. Bob gave us through the presentation of that special topic called the resurrection. And I'm just going to invite you again, as a pastor, this is a great resource for you to give it to your Sunday school teachers. There's a great resource for you to give it to your student minister or volunteers. This is a great resource for you to potentially even post it on social media and simply remind people, hey, here are some of the biblical references when it comes to post-appearances, post-resurrection manifestations of the person of Jesus Christ. Man, this is just the season. We are excited to provide these resources to the local church. Josue, anything else that we need to convey tonight when it comes to some of these resources?
Yes, so really quick, I saw that we got some new viewers in the past couple of minutes, so I just want to recap and reiterate how we got to these resources. Okay, so again, let's start from the beginning. And let's just go through it again really quick one more time. So when you open up your Bible Lessons International app, again, available on both the App Store for iPhone and the Google Play Store for Android, when you open it up, you're going to see 5 tabs on the bottom. The first on the left being Home, the next to the right being Live, and then Give in the middle, and then Resources, and the last on the right is More. But the one we're focusing on, the one that you just saw all those resources from, is from the 4th tab from the left, called Resources, with a little church building picture or logo. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it. And again, my screen is what y'all can see as well on your app. So when I click Resources, it brings me to these multiple resources available, including Old Testament studies, special topics, difficult and controversial texts, so on and so 4th. But the one that we're focusing on, and again, because we're in that season of Easter and resurrection, is the first one called Easter in the Scriptures. Okay, the one at the very, very top. And when I click on that, like I just did, that's where we come to the special topics and really just the resources from Dr. Bob that we just went through. So again, I hope this was helpful. And if you have any questions, again, please type them in the chat. Please, again, access the links that we also put in the chat so you can better connect and stay updated with what's going on, not only with BLI, but more specifically within the app.
I just type in my email address. So again, whether you want to just request it through the first link that I gave, where you can just simply enter your information, or you want to email me and say, hey, send me that PDF for the resources. Whatever the case may be, bottom line, we want to make these things accessible to you. And at the same time, we want to make sure that you are able to download the app. That's what we want to do. I mean, this is the reason why we're doing this podcast on Mondays. And this is called Your Bible Toolbox. And it's simply diving into the discovering or diving into the resources available to the website, Free Bible Commentary. But specifically tonight is accessing resources on the resurrection of Jesus, since we are in this beautiful season. Final word, Josue, anything else?
I hope this was helpful. Again, please access the links in the chat. Please email us if you have any questions. And we just want to thank you again for those that have downloaded the app or are considering it or will download it in the future. We hope everything we talk about in the next couple of weeks with this new podcast is simply of value for you and your ministry. So again, truly, truly thank you so much.